Thank you, Max. This was a great beginning. Most of you don't know that Max was the chairman of the selection committee that selected me. And so that's good to, right. And I should say it was a good selection, right? And it seems like it was only yesterday that we arrived in Cornell. My wife, Kumari, is sitting back there. And when we came in, we didn't know what to expect, but it's been wonderful to, in the last 5 years, building this program up and bringing it to the stage where we are today. And I'm really looking forward to the next 5 years to see how we can move forward. I think just thinking about where we want to be 5 years from now, we want to certainly establish a hardcore program in India that will continue to do this high-level research that also translates into real-life solutions and also real-life policy advice within the country. But I also want to project TCI as a model that can be used outside of India. If we can look at opportunities where we can use the similar type of model for other parts of South Asia, possibly looking beyond South Asia, that'll be something exciting to think about. I'm not sure that one person or one institute can do it, but it's certainly a model that we can all look at moving forward. Max talked about the great staff we have here in Ithaca. And without the work of the group here in Ithaca, we just won't be able to do it. The staff, Mary Catherine, who was our very first employee of this group, and then since then we've expanded the staff, and the latest person to join our group is Brenda, who's come in as a program administrator. And because of the complexity of the program, because of how many different things are moving at the same time, Matthew Abraham took on the role of the assistant director of the program starting this year. But I want to emphasize that a lot of the work that we do happens in India. And so we have a whole team of people in India that are working on this program 24 hours a day. Bhaskar Mitra, the associate director of the program based in Mumbai, he's always on call. And I get emails from Bhaskar at 11 at night, and then again from 6 in the morning, and goes on till midnight his time. So I don't know when he gets time to sleep, because he's always responding to messages, always sending information. And our students are constantly calling him whenever they're in trouble in India, which happens quite often. And he's out there trying to support them and be as welcoming as possible, then trying to get them through all kinds of issues within the country. We also, because of the Gates Foundation grant, have opened an office in Delhi about 2 years ago. And today we have a staff of 6 people based in Delhi. And that staff has been pretty much working on the Gates Foundation grant that Max mentioned. But one thing our office in Delhi has also done is it's given us enormous visibility with the policy-making community in India. And because of our Delhi office, we've been able to get invited to several high-level policy discussions and fora, etc. And we're able to then slowly introduce policy messages back into India on how do you effectively look at malnutrition, how do you look at food systems, what are the ways in which we could look at policy reforms, etc. And that's been a wonderful opportunity for us to translate some of the research learnings that we're getting on the field and bringing that back to the policy community. And that's an area I think we'll continue to be doing a lot more work on over the next 5 years. Also, with our Gates Foundation grant, we've been able to do a lot more collaborative work in India. So we've been able to bring in NGO partners, academic partners, etc., And we're now working in 6 states in India. We started with 1, and we're now in 6 states. We're working in 30 different villages, and we're reaching, sorry, we're not working in 30 different villages. We're working in a total of, I wrote this down somewhere, and I seem to, 195 villages, not 30. That's a big difference. 195 villages. And we're reaching 30,000 households today. So that's quite an enormous stretch of work that we're doing across the country. And with our collaborators in India, we can potentially scale this up quite significantly over time. And one of the advantages of having strong collaborators in India is we also are able to provide on-the-ground training and capacity building to our partners in India. And some of them coming here on visiting fellowships, etc., and also our staff and professors from here, like Mark Constas and Rebecca Nelson, going to India and working with our collaborators, have been able to provide capacity building on the ground in very crucial areas such as mycotoxin research, M&E work, etc. And that's something I'd like to keep building on. I'd like to have a lot more interaction between Cornell faculty and our partners in India, and I'd like to see how we can build this up into the future. We've talked about the students. A total of 29 students have either gone through or going through this program. We've already graduated around 6 people that have gone through the program, and there's a group that's going through now. And bachelor's students is one area we've not been working on, although the Tata Global Fellows is something that I'm very excited about. But we've taken on master's degree students. And of course, the large share of our work is focused on PhD students. Starting this year, we've been experimenting with an MS PhD program, and we'll try to see whether we can expand on that some more. Thinking about a few more students coming in who may be not adequately prepared to get into a PhD program, but could step in through an MS PhD. And that's something we'll keep working on, and we look forward to doing more of that. But an area we don't talk about a lot is our postdoctoral fellows and the research associate program. We've got around 9 people who have either gone through or are going through our postdoc and research associate program. And what I like about the postdoc and research associate program is that they don't have to do coursework. And they don't have to stick to a research, schedule of exams, etc. So we can focus them on a particular research problem and say, go for it. Next 2 years, this is a problem you're working on, and get as much research output and publications as you can from that. And the experience has been tremendous. So in terms of publications, we've now, as of today, we've got, in the last 5 years and up to today, 24 journal articles that are out in print. Journal articles and book chapters, all of these going through a peer review process. And just today, we got 3 more papers that have gone into publication. And we've got another 3 that are in, what do you call it, R&R. Review and resubmit stage. So by the end of this academic year, if nothing else, we'll have a minimum of 30 publications that have come out as papers and book chapters. That's 5 per year. Not bad for a small program, but I think as we grow, we should be getting much more than 5 per year. In addition to that, we put out 2 books. And a 3rd book on food systems for a rising India is going to press next week. And it's going to be published by Palgrave Press, and sometime in the spring, we should be having a nice book party around that book. And what I like about the book that's going to press next week is it's been written jointly with our research associates and our postdoctoral fellows. And so that's a nice way in which we can build collaboration right here within our own group and put these products forward. So we're really excited about the program. And what I like most about the program is that when we started this program, people were cautioning me. They were saying, it's very difficult to get rigorous quantitative research that meets Ivy League PhD standards when you send people out to the field. Well, we've proven them wrong, because all of the people who went through our program have spent a year in the field, or sometimes more than a year in the field, doing intense field work. But then they've been able to show that you can marry that intense field work with the rigor that's needed to meet the academic requirements of a PhD program at Cornell. That's what excites me the most. And the fact that you can apply this rigor to real-world problems, and you can come up with solutions and policy solutions that can then make big differences to people's lives. That's what allows me to go to sleep peacefully every night. And I'm really excited that we can continue doing this work over the future. Thank you very much, and welcome to this celebration.